Appreciate everybody being here at Hermosa Town Board Special Meeting and Work Session Friday, April 22nd, 2022 at 1 p.m. Roll call, Hendrickson.
Here.
Holzer is here. King's not. Kramer.
Yep.
Schumacher.
Here.
Appreciate the attendance of what we've got. Please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll come back later.
The only other thing that we may have, as far as changes to the agenda, would be possibly discussion under,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I did something.
that we'll take in city cleanup.
Ah, yes. Better
For tomorrow.
discuss that, yeah. Under new business.
Correct. Other than that, motion to accept the agenda is amended.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes it, Kramer seconds it. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. No consent calendar. And we'll move into new business. Law enforcement is that first item of subject. Appreciate Marty and Mark coming over with us today. Travis is out of town, so he was unable to be here, otherwise he was gonna be here. So, of course, our contract comes up 1st of May, and so we went over and Bob was there for the meeting with them and discussed it. Marty was good enough to have some stuff put together on that for us over there, and as you got, where you've seen in your packet, the contract, for example, of what they had with Keystone, and then they had over there the population breakout and percentages of Keystone was 60%, where they were paying 81,000, population 352. On New Underwood was 682 people, 55% is what they're being contracted, that's with Pennington County on both of these, at 53,000. Edgemont, which is in the Fall River County, and they're at 701 population, they're paying 115 on that, which is a full rate. Hill City, also Pennington County, it's 1,000 population, 132,000 there. They're just ideas that Marty put out there, and then he put in kind of an idea what Keystone's contract was that we had, that you also had involved in your packets, so that you had a review possibility. We appreciate Marty then giving us this breakout of small communities that you can kind of look at what they're doing on their yearly contract. It looks like hours and monthly rate on it, and then what they're paying on that circumstance. Gail put a spreadsheet out of what our law enforcement was and where we kind of had, and we're at a level of budget on our law enforcement side of it too. So what we've got to decide today or next following meeting, Marty said if we don't come to an agreement yet, we still need to do some decision making. They're going to go on a month to month with us. If we can get it hopefully within a month is what we want to do. So they know and we know. So with that, I'll let Marty take it from there.
Thank you. I'll come up here so I can open my book. So back when I first talked to you, you know, the options are you can hire your own police department. It is challenging sometimes for the smaller towns to have a police department. That's why there's a lot of contracts now. It's becoming more and more difficult to hire people and keep them around. A lot of times people will come to a small town and work, get certified and leave. It's 13-week academy right now. Like for us, when we hire someone new, they get 13 weeks of academy and they do 14 weeks of field training with the deputy. Then they have to go through all the process in order before they can work on their own. If I could absorb Hermosa without having to hire people, I could do it cheap. I cannot do that. And I'm going to give you just kind of an idea of some other law enforcement areas. We do it very efficiently in Custer County. We kind of just have the philosophy of get it done, work harder. So I'm gonna use data from Butte County, because they're kind of in the Black Hills. Butte County's population is 10,957. Between their law enforcement, they have their own city police and sheriff's offices. They have 17 law enforcement officers for that area. They had a total of 391 NIBRs reported incidents. That's a national incident-based reporting that we do. And that can be from an assault to vandalism to theft. Kind of shows you how busy they are. And it's not just how many calls they get. So out of that population, they have 17 full-time law enforcement. Then I'll use Fall River. Population 6,632. Between the Hot Springs Police Department and Fall River County Sheriff's Office, they have 16 authorized positions. I don't think they're ever at 16 because they're always trying to find people, but that's what they're authorized. Custer County, that has 3,000 more population, has 13. That's what we have. A county with 3,000 less population has 3 more officers than we do. So that's where we talk about being shorthanded. Go ahead.
You said that the other counties, that's what they're allotted money-wise. But
Positions.
Positions they're allotted, yeah. And so is that how many positions are allowed in the county, or just what you have right now?
That's how many I am allowed.
You're allowed.
We are
13.
full staff.
You are full staff right now, okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. So I have 13. Fall River doesn't report their NIBRs information. We had 317 NIBRs related incidents last year from the sheriff's office. So we're up there close,
Same average.
pretty close. Fall River didn't report their numbers, so I don't know what they have. Now I'll go to the 911 calls. Remember, Custer County is the most unique county in the whole state because of everything we have here, and the visitors are becoming more and more, and they, believe it or not, they create some work for us. In last year, Custer County had 3,920 911 calls. We had 27,613 calls to dispatch. Clay County, the closest county I can find for the similar 911 calls is Clay County, with a population of 14,331. They had 3,828 911 calls. They're only 417 square miles. In Clay County, between the Sheriff's Office, Vermillion Police Department, and the University Police Department, which is under our deputized from Vermillion Police Department, they have 34 officers. So I'm giving you that data just to see where I come from. Like, there's times I'll say, well, we're busy, it might take a little bit because we have to prioritize stuff. Because we're doing it with a lot less people. And it's hard to say what the population gonna be. It's gonna grow, but every summer for the last couple of years, it's grown crazy. And they don't count that when it comes to populations. So it's a very busy sheriff's office. I came from the 3rd largest city in the state. This was busier because we had 52 officers, now 13 of us. There's times I'm out. I had a 26-hour shift the other day, up for 26 hours. So if I could help you, I would do it, but I cannot. We could not take on a community without actually hiring more people.
Understandable.
Do you get any overlay from the Highway Patrol or
Very little.
Pennington County at all?
They'll help. We all help each other.
Right.
But the Highway Patrol is in the same boat. They're shorthanded.
Right.
Pennington County, well, pull up their website. They're offering
The same
sign-on
problem.
bonuses and stuff. Everybody's in the same boat because people aren't wanting to do this career. When I started, 1993, people started and they retired. It was almost a given. That's not the case anymore. People are leaving because it's very stressful. People are becoming difficult to deal with. And quite frankly, you can make the same amount of money doing a job that you could work Monday through Thursday and never have to work a holiday or a night.
Right.
Well, that's what we're up against. Our turnover is people that have basically got out of law enforcement. They're not in it anymore, so. And we used to get 20 applications, now I think we get 5, 6, but you can weed out half of them right away. And that is a statewide issue. I just went to a conference in Deadwood, talked to other sheriffs, same thing. Where it's even more difficult for Custer County is if you go on realtor.com and look at the housing. You know, we have one deputy that lives in Hermosa. We have a deputy that lives south of Hermosa. Our newest deputy, she and her husband's in the highway patrol, are trying to move to Hermosa. And this is where she wants to be. But it all depends if she can find a place. And it'd be good because then we get 2 for 1.
Yeah,
But that's what we're all up against. It's expensive for law enforcement. It's not the good old days that you could just put a gun on someone, send them out. There's too much liability. I gain nothing out of taking on Hermosa. What I gain is more liability, more personnel problems, more community problems. I'm extending it out there. If you guys want my help, I'm 100% willing to help. But to walk away here thinking I'm getting some out of it, I'm not getting anything, but more liability.
right.
So our deputies now, non-certified, we start them at 23.19. Certified, they start out at 24.27. We also have shift differential pay of $1 an hour between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Overtime is a minimum 2 hours on call-outs. There's also longevity pay after 5 years of service. There's an insurance deductible. It's hard in holiday pay, which is double time. So today I can say conservatively, just to have a new employee, not have radios, bulletproof vests, guns, a car, anything like that, it's gonna be around 72,000. And we're not the highest paid out there either, so. We've been working on it, we've gone a long ways, and a lot of it because of the commission helping out. I came here in 2005, and I know since 2005, we had, you could probably say every 6 months we'd have an opening. And when I started in 2005, I was $13 an hour. And I was gonna decline the job other than, I was in Denver for training when they called and offered me the job. And I drove through Custer County. And I was like, boy, I really want to live here. So we took the jump and we moved, but a lot of people aren't willing to do that, especially now. It's even tougher, but if you guys could find someone that wants to be your town cop and wants to be available 24/7 and make sure, you know, they have the training and all that, more power to you. I mean, I just don't know if you're going to be able to do it or not.
When you and I were sitting there in the hallway at the meeting over there, we had talked about what it would be that if we wanted a guy 40 hours a week, and then you, of course, would have to hire that individual. You'll be staffing, like you said, 3 different individuals probably over here. And you said, realistically, if you want it 40 hours a week, probably about $115,000 a year.
Actually, I said money's between you guys and the commission.
Right, but
I just signed
you
it.
were ballparking.
Well,
What you
that's-
thought it would be with.
Fall River pays 115, or Edgemont pays Fall River 115 for 30 hours of patrol. There's all these, and I think Pennington County has a percentage so they don't have to renegotiate. That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
They know automatically every year they're gonna pay 60%. Pennington has 100 and some deputy sheriffs. You know, again, we're coming back here. I have 12 deputies, and one's in the school
yeah,
9 months out of the year. And we provide 24/7 coverage. We have someone else, so that's 2 people, you know, 1,500 square miles. And eventually, yeah, we're gonna have to grow. I mean, our calls are going, we were in a call in Dewey. I mean, I can't remember last time I was on a call in Dewey, but, you know, from Dewey to Hermosa, it'll take you a couple hours probably. So we're spread thin, but if like I said, if I could do it cheap and pass the savings on to all you, I would, but I think now you probably understand our numbers and where we sit.
and that's why I think with Mark, what we're gonna need from you guys is what you think it would be to staff us at that number, so that we know where our elevation will be. Whether we need to be like a Keystone deal at 60% and work that ratio. If you can get us a breakout now, Marty, kinda what you think your hours are over here with school patrol and in a ballpark area. If you're giving us 20 hours a week, if you're giving us 30, what you are, and then we need that level of where we're gonna be at it. If it's 60% as what you're considering we're getting now, type elevations, we know for cost where we need to be at that comparison level.
Those numbers fluctuate so terribly bad, and the other thing that you have to take into consideration is you're getting 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week coverage, whether you pay for 30 hours or not.
Right,
The call could be at 10 in the morning, 10 at night, 2 in the morning. I know we had a call over here late at night, we had to call a deputy out, so he got 2 hours overtime. Price of fuel's gone up, everything is getting more expensive, but I'm looking at your numbers here, and it says 64,268. Was that how much for the entire budget for law enforcement, and then did that include the dispatch contract?
and
We just added,
dispatch.
Okay.
that's 2021, so
Okay, so that's where you guys are right now, that you're spending is 64,000?
that was the total of 2021.
Okay.
And then if you go, you can see how it moved from, at the very top, it was 2019.
Okay,
37,000 is what that was before we had Brad on, and then budget was, the total 2020 was 51,000. And then it jumped to 2021, it was 64,000 for the total.
gotcha. And the big thing that you gotta look at as town board members is the liability part of it. I guess I take it on, so
Yep,
you don't have to much,
right.
but.
So that, that way Mark's got a copy of that, knows where our budget was at. And then what we need is a breakdown of what we can get for coverage of hours, on that, bang for buck on where we are here versus that,
Well, you'll have 24-hour coverage 7 days a week, and, it's hard to say 30 hours, so let's say in the first 2 weeks, we do 30 hours of patrol time because of calls over here.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So then you're gonna be working 60 hours one, maybe, 20 the next. It all washes out, I'm sure, but.
Well, and you and I talked also like with Brad, just for a scenario, we needed somebody for school patrol. The problem is there's no certification, so you can't write a ticket, you can't stop anybody, but there's the ability where it's exposure, just enough to slow the people down. Matt does a good job when he comes over, but Matt usually gets here after the rush many mornings, and I know he's split between Hot Springs and here, and that makes it really a difficult situation.
Well, yeah, I was very upfront and gave full
Yeah.
disclosure on that at the very beginning. We're spread thin, and
Oh, yeah,
we're sending a guy from Hot Springs, and there's times we didn't have school patrol in Custer because we did that, but.
yep,
So, we're doing absolutely everything that we can.
no, we appreciated that, because you got thrown into the basket and tumbled upside down and said, what can we do? And you've done your best, and I'm saying nothing against that. We appreciate where you did, and your back was against the wall. The commissioners were gracious enough to jump in and work with us on that, and appreciate that part of it, said that all the way along. Now we just need to go to the next level and fine tune it to where we can be at in the comfort zone, where you can be at in the comfort zone, or do we gotta get more creative with a little additional help to try to offset school garden time, or something of that nature too? Brad?
And I wanted to run this past Marty. There might be an option. I've been doing some reading on this, and a lot of the small communities like this, whose departments like you come in are so busy you don't have time to get over here. They're hiring people that are trained as security officers to patrol. They can't arrest, they can't do anything, but they're picking up the slack for you guys. Let's say something goes on, they're driving around, they can detain till you guys have a chance to get here. Or maybe school patrol, or it's just an option I read about, because it has somebody then here all the time. They're limited on what they can do, and of course it has to be agreed on with whoever has the area, but it is a way maybe to take pressure off you at times. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's being done more and more from what I read, because of the lack of,
Where's it, if you don't mind, where's it at? Because I've never heard of that.
I Googled it,
In South Dakota?
It's, all it says it's nationwide now. I don't know the specific cities. I could find them, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you'd look,
But
that'd be great.
I just read about it and I was pretty intrigued. Well,
If you detain someone, you're taking away their civil liberties, you're taking away their rights. And it can be done in like a loss prevention or a security thing. If they work for a store, they can detain someone that's shoplifting, and the law gives them that right. But I've never heard of anybody being deemed a security guard. Otherwise, every town would have security guards.
well, there's that Mountain State Security in Rapid. I talked to them and they provide that with Rapid PD. They have people that patrol, and if they see something like up on North Street, you know, they can detain the people till Rapid PD gets there. That's one that I know of that does it for sure around here. But there again, liability insurance, I have no idea on any of that. It was just something I thought was interesting that could maybe eliminate some of the pressure on Marty to keep them coming over, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's security that, I'll ask Rapid City, but security works for private industry. And there are some things that they can do to detain somebody to make like a citizen's arrest, but that's not gonna be running around in a cop car. You can't even have radios. I don't know how they get away with that.
Well, yeah, I guess I can check, because they have all that, and they don't have lights, obviously, they can't do that, they can't pursue. They just have marked cars with radios. That's all
Yeah,
I
if you
know.
can find out more, let me know.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's something I've never heard of before.
Well, they say it's an up and coming thing, so to speak, that they're going towards that because of the shortness.
Well, I would think the state wouldn't agree with that, because they like to send us all through the academy and make money.
And maybe not, but I just want to bring it up.
Yeah, I've never heard of it,
It's worth looking into.
other than like loss prevention and stuff like that for
Well, and our
citizens arrest.
right, and our big thing is with our insurance company is them, you know, in that liability circumstance.
Right?
We're in a really tight situation too, you know, and
And see, to
it's
do,
gotten worse.
well,
as
you have to
know.
get a license to do it too. So I don't know if that changes insurance, or I have no idea. I just know you have to get a security, they call it security officers, like mall cop, I suppose, licensed. And you have to have fingerprinted, background check, that kind of stuff.
They do that for cities. Cities issue a security license. We don't have anything like that here.
Okay.
It's
Brad?
worth looking into.
Yeah,
Brad, would you do the research on that, please?
Yeah, I
And get
sure
us
can.
the, thank you.
I can.
And have you ever met Mark Hartman?
I
He's
haven't.
a county commissioner, and that is Brad.
Nice
He
to
was
meet you.
our town cop helper, whatever for,
Something.
yeah.
Rent a
I wasn't
car.
on the board.
Yeah.
I would say if you want to have a town cop, then you need to hire one and send them through the academy. I would not even consider security guard or anything like that, because what happens if Joe Public comes through town and all of a sudden they're detaining somebody because they thought, I'm not saying you, okay? But if there's somebody under, saying they're security detaining somebody, write the check to them. Because you just took away somebody's rights and they're not certified or weren't, you know, within that 1 year period. That'd be crazy. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. But that's up to you guys.
No, that could be right, Marty. I'll check on it and see. And it is.
Sure.
Why does Custer County have so much less than compared to some of those other towns, officers? I mean, especially with all the people moving into the area and,
Because I watched the budget and I believe in quality instead of quantity. We will have to grow, but if I can pay somebody better that's got, we have our investigator's been here with 15 years with us and he had about 10 years before that. If I can have a quality person, he can get more work done or she can than these new people continually. So my focus when I became sheriff was, and you can ask Mark, was let's pay these people and keep them around and have longevity. We have a 15-year, a 12-year, and I think a couple 10-year people that they're well-trained, they get their job done. It's stressful, yes. Would we like more? Yeah. But I also want to be able to, no different than you with us. I mean, there's a budget. Are you gonna say, hey, let's pay these people better so we can have professionals? Or say, hey, let's just hire a bunch more people and just continually in and out? That's why we're shorter. And some of these places just added, like Hot Springs just added another one. And it's because calls and things are becoming more demanding. So yeah, we would have to keep up. But a lot of it's because of me. I wanted to pay more money, but still maintain a budget and not, blow it up.
The learning curve is so big on new employees,
Yeah.
especially law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
probably 2 or 3 years, especially as big as the
Yeah.
county is,
I
learning the
know.
county, learning, people. So it doesn't make, any sense to just, have the turnover. You gotta do something
I
to
know.
keep the turnover down.
I know, I agree
Marty's
with
done a
that.
great job of, like you said, we're trying to keep people.
Mm-hmm,
And you can hire a bunch more people, but then at some point, he's gonna spend more time managing the people and babysitting them.
Right.
Especially if we just keep hiring new people with no experience, and
mm-hmm.
then you're not gonna get anything done anyhow,
I
so.
think a lot of the law enforcement administrators would be out golfing today, they won't even be here. I'm not afraid to work for a living.
Mhm.
And I don't think, I'm not bragging, but there's nobody in the county that works more hours than I do or harder than I do.
Do you see your budget growing so that you could possibly add, that he could add more?
Oh, we watch it all the time. Marty does a great job of looking at the calls and, every year we talk about that. In fact, it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we put on one more
Yeah,
person.
we added a person a year ago.
And that's based upon the calls and the workload
Mm-hmm,
and they're never gonna be staffed as much as they need.
right, well,
Compared to like a lot of these places, where they have people just sitting around drinking coffee. These guys are working all the time.
If we could
And
have,
that makes sense.
yeah, and if I could hire part-time people for the summer, that'd be awesome, but guess what? They're not here.
Mhm.
Can't find somebody that's certified, that's gonna say, yeah, I wanna spend every summer, dealing with tourists and bad people. They're not around anymore. We were lucky, we had a guy that worked every summer for us, we got to bring him on and he retired and,
I wonder how much that the impact of how horrible things have become has impacted people wanting to be law enforcement.
all
I
of
mean,
it.
the crime and the drugs and
We're
I
fortunate,
mean,
we're
because it
fortunate.
used to be people wanted to be like
No,
law enforcement and
not anymore.
No. Brad?
Marty, do you have reserve officers? Will they come out and work to help you?
They have to be with somebody certified.
Oh, so it's the same difference then,
Yeah, our reserve program, there's different tiers to it. So they start out, they're always with somebody certified, they can't do anything on themselves. They put in more hours in training, then they can go and be more free by radio contact and stuff like that. We have 3 reserves right now that we use. And a lot of that is courtroom security, transports. These mental health things are taking us to Sioux Falls and Yankton now. That will change hopefully in the near future with another facility in Rapid. And every time we have a mental committal, seems like that's about a 12-hour ordeal anymore. So then we have to bring other people in and cover it and train. They all have to have 40 hours of training every couple of years, and then someone signs up for a class, they're short. Vacations, 3 weeks. They earn 3 weeks a year in vacation, and we need to make sure they get their vacations, so they need that mental break.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of juggling. If you're gonna be punished in the sheriff's office, I give you the schedule. That's your punishment, because it's,
Well, and I
imagine.
think the other part that hits you hard, like you were saying and when we were talking, is you'll get an individual in and go through the training, they get out and then they see a better, higher paying position they can qualify for in another area and they're gone.
With the sign-on bonus.
yeah,
And we just paid to
Yeah.
send them to school.
Yeah.
right.
And that's the tough part, and that's everywhere anymore. There is no commitment anymore. There is no standards of that as what we grew up through.
Yeah, law enforcement is completely different now than what it used to be. I always called it the fatal 5. Everybody quit within the first 5 years. I was in the 80th session of the academy. Each academy has a new number. They're on 182 now. There's nobody left. I'm the last one in my academy class. There's a lot of people I worked with over the years that they're hitting that 20-year mark and they're leaving. there's people in our office that as soon as they hit the 20-year mark, they're gone.
Uh-oh.
I hate to think it, but they're gonna. And it's, a lot of it's just the way the jobs change. People become very demanding. We're sheltered a lot from what's going on nationally. We have a lot of support. If you go to our office today, there's probably 10 different thank you cards sitting on our counter that we just got in. So we feel the support and we appreciate it. Are we perfect? No. Can we be everywhere at once? No. But we all work hard. They all earn their money.
And Marty, I gotta say, I'm guilty of the same thing. Most people are like, well, where the heck are they? Why can't they be here? You know? And when I hear more from you about your staffing and that kind of stuff, it's a lot more understandable. But I don't know how the public is gonna get that message that you're trying as hard as you can to get here. You just don't have the people to get over here. You know, it isn't that you're ignoring us, or, you know, and so it's interesting to hear that. And yeah, I've been one of the ones that complain, so, well, where the hell are they? Well, obviously, you don't have any people to send over here, you can't, you know.
Yeah, we had,
so.
last year, over 12,000, like I said, over 12,000 calls for service generated. So if you start doing the math, and if we have a serious situation somewhere, and someone's complaining about somebody drove by their house fast 20 minutes ago, there's nothing we can do about it. We'll come here and patrol, but we don't ever get to pick what we're doing for the day. I can guarantee you that, because it's call based. Yesterday, we had 2 people up, and they were dispatched to a suicide, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then shortly after that, we had some calls come in that were belated, like it happened, someone was driving by a house at 2 or 3 o'clock that morning, you know, and then they're mad they were not there yet. We're on a suicide call. That's, unfortunately, that's gonna take some time. So, and we try to explain it to people the best that we can, like, sorry, but I was on another call, or,
Well, and I apologize for.
you could give me 100 deputies and I still couldn't be everywhere at once, I can guarantee you. I always said that, you know, we're never there when you need us and we're always there when you don't want us. So.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd just like to say thank you to you, and there's a lot of citizens in Hermosa that are very happy with what you guys are doing.
Thanks.
I know that this board don't like Hermosa happenings page, but there's nobody saying anything bad in the community about your law enforcement, and we're happy that you're here, and then we need you guys here.
I appreciate that. We do have really, I'm very lucky to have the people I have. I have no complaints.
So what I'd like, Mark, is that whether we gotta sit down or you guys plug the numbers with Marty, kind of see where this 64,000 bring us that year elevation would be.
Yeah, I think that my understanding was up to this point, we're just kind of waiting to see if this is even a direction you guys want to go. So if it's definitely an option, then yeah, the board will have to come up with, you know, a number.
Yeah, because we've got an executive session to go over some other personnel items, and we'll talk a little more strongly about stuff and that aspect, but I fully feel that's where we want it. I told Marty, my opinion was that we want to know that, and we'll get our budget out and we'll look at it so you know what our yearly expense was, and see if that's a number where we can pull it in.
I'm willing to do everything I can. You know, I always have been.
Yep.
That was greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I said I'm not gonna leave anybody hanging. I mean, your job as town board is to provide law enforcement. My job as a sheriff is to keep the peace. So we all gotta work together.
Yep.
It's just, I said if I could do it, if I could just say, hey, we'll do it as cheap as we can for you and save everybody money, I would do it, because that's how strict I am with money.
Right.
But it's just, I'm going to burn out my staff.
You are.
Well, and with our overall budget, like I say, with where we were at,
Yeah.
with Jim and Brad, we were at that roughly 47, we had figured, and we broke that out to the 6-month period. And this would be in our total overhead of everything of what we ran a year would be our maximum that we had budgeted in. You know, if that level will put us into that situation where coverage is wise you know, that we have that elevation, and if, that gives us an idea, so we know a rough, I know what you're saying, 24 hours, but is there gonna be a little more exposure with an officer over here type thing, so that we can tell the public, this is what
Yeah.
to expect, or,
Can
Yeah, I
we-
100% understand that.
Well, I don't know how you can get by on having a full-time person for 64,000 if you're figuring, you know, the vehicle, the insurance, dispatch, I mean, and then you're only one person versus, and I'm not trying to sell the county, because it's not like we need another, you know,
right,
headache, because that's what it can be. But you do get you got a lot more people overlapping at different times, you know, from night to, if there's something big, you know, and then you have somebody else that's, you know, can be brought in, that's, you know, not on shift. So you get more than just one person 40 hours. I don't even think that's, in my mind, that's not even a good way to look at it. You're looking at the package, what you get.
correct,
You're getting access to multiple deputies, you're getting access, you know, to the liability, the insurance, the vehicles, the, you know, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. And I was able to sit in early on with the city when they first did the contract there, and when they really pulled their numbers out to get the same, you know, access to multiple people, you know, it was probably almost, maybe not quite double what the contract the county did with them. But in order to really have access to that many people and that much stuff, it's a big deal. So
oh, yeah.
I don't know how you guys got by that good, but
Well, we were at a level where Jim was at that point, I mean, he was set, he had other insurances, he, you know, was in a good position, you know, so then we had the vehicles already, we were in an affordability situation there, worked out well, we had Brad, which came in awesome, and I wish he wouldn't have had his health issues on his situation, but I mean, for what we were paying Brad until we got to that point, we were in an excellent situation where $300 a month, he had his retirement, he had his VA, you know, so we couldn't have been more lucky on the circumstances where we were. But, you know, I look at where Keystone or even Hill City has a total presence all the time. And then
No, they don't.
well, a bigger
They have
presence, I should
people
say.
that can respond, but.
Right, but at that 132,000 is where they're at on the Pennington level. And Keystone, you know, where they're at that 60%, they're at 81,000 on their level of that percentage of coverage. New Underwood, you know, I talked to Mary Jo down there when we were down for the district meeting. They don't see them very often for that 50 grand, they're there for the coverage, they'll do a drive-by, but they're not there on a constant.
The reason they have
level.
cops in Norwood is because of me when I was a kid. It's all from my high school class, probably.
Yeah,
In Norwood, they made it, you know, they had their own cop. And then they same thing, they would leave and then the sheriff's office would cover. And then they had the guy come in, Slim McNutt. He did it for years, but he worked for the county and for the city of Norwood for a long time. And then when he retired, they've been on contract ever since.
yeah, yeah,
well, the one thing that your number from last year doesn't reflect is all the county overlap that was already going on that, you know, that wasn't part of this budgeted number. I mean, these guys are over here all the time, you know, for break-ins and, you know,
It's true.
domestic and stuff, so this doesn't really tell you the true picture, you know.
right,
I know how much time they spent over here the last few years, and, you
Yeah.
know, besides deputies living here and passing through and coming to calls that, you know, Jim couldn't take, and, I mean,
Yeah, that's
so
a good point.
this doesn't
oh, I
give
get
a
it.
clear picture of,
You're right.
you know, you guys did get by, you know, really good, but I don't think you'll ever, you know, be able to, and Hermosa's growing. I mean, you talk about Pringle's, it's dying. I mean, there ain't nobody building a new house in Pringle. Around Pringle in the county is growing,
Right,
but like, you know, nothing like over here.
well,
And I don't
think,
think this is gonna stop over here. You're too close to Rapid, so.
no, and I think our levels on that side, we realize that too, so whether we're gonna be at a higher ratio, it's more what we're gonna have to figure as a board, what we're gonna be at 11. What's going to be that number. The people around here got used to seeing an officer every day, sitting at the school, doing the residential, you know, day in, day out, and then there'd be a break, and then back in the evening, you know, and they got used to that. On the weekends, they seen that patrol going down through, was around, take a break during the day, in the evenings and back, type thing, you know, so you had that going on, and it was broke up. Sometimes it might be 2 hours in the noon time, and nothing in the morning, and then back in the evening type thing, so it was back and forth like that. If they want that much exposure again, then we're almost to a full-time officer is where we're at. And if we're gonna be at that level, then what is that number gonna be that he has to put another staff on, vehicle setup, you know? That's where we need to look at. Then if we have that fracture of numbers, then we know what to come back and say to the board, this is what you're gonna be looking at. You know, do we wanna work that ratio, and are we gonna have to do a surcharge? You know, we got enough other elements going on, so.
It's difficult for everybody when it comes to that, I know. Just so you know, this year Custer pays $405,000 for contract law enforcement. And then back when Corbin was the mayor and I became sheriff, I told him my plan was retention, keep good deputies here. And they increased to 10,000 every year with a 5-year contract with us. When we took over here, I got less calls from Custer, from people in Custer than I did in Hermosa, I think. A lot of it was just different things, but it did create more work for us. But that's what they pay, and like I said, if I could do it for cheap, I'll do it cheap as I can. But I would definitely have to have somebody else for it.
I think it's pretty safe to say that the county's not looking for something to do, and the county's not looking to make money.
No.
But there is hard costs that when you really, like I said, from liability insurance all the way down, fuel, I mean, there's hard costs, and I don't think we're here looking for something to do,
No,
so.
no,
But there is a need, and like I said, you know, for years, you guys have had a lot of the over coverage from the sheriff's department that's just kind of, you know, just been there. When they come over here to do, you know, all the different things, so I think it's not, I think it's just trying to fill the gap.
yep. Yes, sir.
You didn't look at me, is it?
Okay.
One of the things that the public likes about being with Custer County is that the sheriff is elected by the people and responsible to the people. And that is a very important thing in this community. There's been cases where, and I won't, if you want me to go into them, Dan, I can, but I won't. If you asked, I will. Where, but it's important for the people in the community to know that the law enforcement is not being controlled by politicians, it's being controlled by elected officials.
Thank you. So if you gentlemen want to put that together,
Okay.
let us know what your answer is at your next meeting. I'd sure appreciate it, Mark.
And I think it comes back to, like Marty had said, you know, with
Look into the other bill.
with the city of Custer, it's, you know, I mean, they're annual contracts, but it's renewed 5-year contracts.
Yeah,
But I think no matter what, I think for you guys and for Marty, I think you set it up for a year and just see how it works. I mean, if it comes to that, and if you guys aren't happy, there's no hard feelings, you could, you know, hire your people, whatever,
right.
and same for him, you know, I don't wanna speak for him, but if it's, you know, if it's too much work, then, you know, he's gotta be able to say, hey, we gotta relook at this thing in a year,
Yeah,
and I think that's fair for everybody, and especially for the community, you know, are they getting the service they want? Or do they wanna, you know, pay more,
right.
or have less service, I don't know. But I think it's wise to relook at it no matter what in a year and make
Right.
sure it's working, because otherwise you start getting things going south, you know, it just gets ugly.
Yep,
Could I ask
agree.
another question,
I
Dan?
agree.
If Hermosa contracts with Custer County, it continues like Mark just said for a year, do you have to hire another person then?
Yes. And that
Do you have
takes-
anybody out in the queue that there's somebody there that,
I know there's a couple people interested in applying, but I don't know if they'd apply or not. We just did a hiring.
mm-hmm,
It takes 2 to 3 months for us
To-
to get someone hired. By the
Mhm.
time we do the interviews,
sure,
the background checks.
if they leave someplace else or whatever? Mhm.
And the last couple hires I've had, I tried to hire these local kids and train them. We'll take the time to train them, so hopefully they'll be able to, they'll stick around. That's when, I don't necessarily say, let's move somebody from Minnesota here, then 6 months later, they're like, it's too expensive, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm,
So it takes months to get somebody, and if we have to train them, it's a year.
I think this younger generation, they know how people are treating law enforcement nowadays. You know, the big anti-police movement across the country, and
Yeah,
there's not a race. You look at the academy and even the VOTEC up here, you don't see them turning people down wanting to get into it, so.
exactly.
My feeling's always been, and I tell Marty this all the time, whatever we gotta do to keep people, try to, take care of them, keep them from burnout. I mean, we're lucky we have people.
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
I talked to a guy, I'm not trying to take up much time, but back when I applied for Aberdeen, there's like 50 applicants at a time, 50, 60, you had to do all these testing and lie detector tests and all these things. They always had people apply. They always had piles of people. And now I was talking to them up in Deadwood, and they're like, we're gonna have to do a hiring bonus. Sign-on bonus or something, we're not getting applicants. And now they started going to all the universities. They're sending people to recruit at the universities and VOTEC schools, trying to get people to go to Aberdeen, which I wouldn't recommend, it's really cold. But everybody's having to adapt to this. It's very strange, and I called it 2 years ago when things started going bad. I'm like, if I'm a 21-year-old and I can go to VOTEC and go to law enforcement, plumbing, electrical, mechanic, law enforcement is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna go to. Because all the other ones will pay better and got better hours, and you're not gonna deal with, it's dangerous.
yeah,
You gotta be civic-minded and you gotta wanna carry that gun.
Yeah.
And I agree with you totally. It's been coming and it's gonna get worse, I'm afraid.
Well, we had a guy in Custer, he was gonna kill our deputy. Our deputy was quicker at the draw.
Ooh.
But we're not always the first at the draw, so it's very dangerous.
Brad?
Marty, I will research that stuff. I just looked quickly, North Dakota and Minnesota are doing it. They're complementing the police department with hiring of other people like that. If that was the case, if that would be viable with insurance, let's say everything would work, would that help you or would that hinder you if somebody was here to do that?
That would be separate to me, so, I mean,
Well-
the more eyes, probably the better, but I would be really concerned about liability, and
Right.
if that was the way to do it, I think most small towns would just do it that way.
And it sounds like they're doing it because of the lack of people going to the academy and stuff. However, we'll see what the numbers are, and I just thought if it would help, to where you guys aren't have to be here, but you could get here if you needed to at the time, it was called.
Yeah.
And that's up to the board, but I'll take a look and give you guys the info.
My recommendation is if that's what people want to do, you should go through the academy,
Yeah,
That takes away a lot of the issues.
sure.
Otherwise, we're just kind of venting away around going to the academy.
Well, yeah, but then if you did that, then the city would have their own law enforcement,
Mhm.
So this was a way I was thinking to help
Sure.
with you, but anyway, I'll take a look.
Thanks.
Yep.
Look forward to hearing something, and we'll do some soul searching too, and put it together. Appreciate you gentlemen coming over.
Any questions? for me?
Anything further from the board? Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Jerry
See you
had,
later.
Jerry had a question.
Thanks for coming by, Brad.
Yep.
Thanks, Marty. Being here.
Citizens.
Yeah.
Appreciate
I
it.
tried.
See you later. Call me back.
Why did I get that one?
Pardon?
Yeah, I looked from Jerry and I don't know why I got it.
Okay. Next item, we discuss garbage rates. I didn't bring my sheet back from the packet of what we had, but what we had basically on that,
Didn't I give you a new did I not send out garbage?
I got nothing on
Oh,
garbage.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So I've kind of tweaked this a little bit. Let me show you what I've done. Excuse me, I'm gonna run this over to Vicki here. I tweaked it a little bit.
Thank you.
So, the reason why I did this block, okay?
okay?
So, what that's showing is, how do I explain this so I'm not all over the page? But the current contract, right now, which everyone, right now here,
Is
$16.90.
Right.
That's what we charge customers in town. And we charge out of town, right below at $17.84. So give or take, you know, because people come in, people go out, right? But this is what I'm using is, right now, we're using 227 customers. 209 in town, 18 out of town. We have a revenue, like I said, this is, you know, at 46,238. Okay?
Yep.
If we go with the new contract, well, the new contract now, if you see that, right below it, that's why I blocked it. Now, our estimated expenses are, what, $2,600 more in expenses than what we are making in revenue if we stay at the $16.90 and the $17.84.
Sure,
So we are losing, we're gonna go into the red.
couple grand, yep.
So then what I did down on the bottom then is I just did a, excuse me, I have to sneeze, I did a $20.
Gesundheit, I
Yeah,
did
it's
that.
there, but it doesn't wanna. So I figured it at 20 for the 209. Oh, I gotta sneeze in it. And then I, 2094 for the out of town, for the out of town rate. And you can see the new estimate of revenue is 54
Yep.
with the estimated expenses of 48.
What we pretty much talked about before us going up, and, you know, with the Hermosa out of town, we fully see where eventually that is going to be in town.
Right,
So the 20 overall, if we took the 94 cents away per user,
good point.
you know, then we would be at the even 20 ratio.
Right,
And
that's
that's
a good
where I've
point.
always said that we were gonna be at that level straight across the board either way. And then
So
that's a
20 at
decision for all the
227.
rest of you. I mean, for the level that we're going up, it isn't as what that gentleman was expressing that night, where, well, gosh, we're making 9 grand, and then with the other gentleman in the back that, well, you make the statement, we don't make a profit. Well, I'm sorry, you know, in our budget, we don't break out exactly where this individualism goes, but if you look at the difference, the yard waste dumpsters aren't in here. If you look at the difference in what we're doing for our roads, to our administration, and setting that out, and
I
then you've
know.
got public works that's involved also. There's every department that comes out for a little bit of this. Law enforcement used to be involved in it too.
I
mean,
know.
there was situations in every department that was involved in that for that $9,000, which was a small piece of pie.
I know.
So
I
for
wish I could have
profit,
explained that a little
To
bit
me,
better, but
profit isn't a situation
No.
when it's divided between all departments to make departments work.
I
And it's a
know.
very small ratio of what the roads are and what we are on the situation of that versus what we are in the other departments. And if we end up to where we start having to fill dumpsters weekly because they're not pushed down, people are gonna feel it even harder. You know,
Well, we could always get rid of them too.
that's probably what it's gonna have, because they'll never afford it.
No, I mean, like the spring cleanup and stuff has jumped $700 this year.
Well, you know, and to us, to provide that service of what that dumpster is for the community is one thing. But I get chastised because I keep bringing it up about out-of-town users. There is more out-of-town users using these frickin' dumpsters than what people think. When I go down there and shove that like I did last night, pine trees, spruce trees, trees that are apple trees that are not even in our area, not even in our town. And I do a drive-through on every town street and see no activity of anywhere. You know, that involvement is what's a frustration. And for the girls to watch that camera 24/7 to find out who it is a difficulty too.
Yeah.
Well, if you
But to
took,
me, this is a good rate, and this is a good spreadsheet, and
If we what?
if you took away the roll-offs and the spring cleanup, obviously not this year for the spring cleanup, but that's $3,100, so that would bring that expense down a bit. We're trying to think right now that possibly there might be a possibility that we might have to do a surcharge for law enforcement.
So, yeah, if
So
we
I
turned
was,
around and did that, that'd be 3,000 more towards law enforcement.
well, what I was going to try to say is that possibly maybe you might want to, and I'm just trying to brainstorm, rather than going up to $3.10 from $16.90, which we currently charge a customer, to $20, which is what, $3.10. Break that out a little bit, maybe make it $1.50 towards garbage, and then the rest of it towards a surcharge for law enforcement.
right, but you're still not.
Still not going to make the law enforcement. No,
That's a
obviously.
drop in the bucket.
Right,
If we
I
gotta
know.
end up where, comments where they want more coverage, they're not seeing them, they're rolling through stop signs, there's nobody at the school. If they want what we had before, it's gonna be $115,000 a year minimum, plain and simple. Well, then you figure out a surcharge on 400 residents
Well,
for $115,000, and we're doing $60,000, so you're gonna have $60,000 more,
Yeah.
give or take, that you're gonna have to surcharge between 400 people, so you divide 400 into 60,000, and that'll tell you what your surcharge is. You're gonna be a $20 surcharge per user to afford $100,000 worth of coverage.
right. So,
Otherwise, let's live with what we have now, or look for another officer.
Well, back to garbage. Seeing as how we don't have all the seeing as how we don't have the law enforcement numbers yet for sure. It's sad. It's sad for me. I understand where the public was on, not wanting an increase in their garbage services. I get that. Whether I get the service or not is not the point. I know how money works. I know I pay my water bill. I know how all the other bills are going up. But the fact is, and you all, everybody sitting at this board understands the fact of 20 years ago when we did not have yard waste dumpsters. And we all know how that and the spring cleanup has helped clean up this
Oh, it
town.
has.
And so because of that, we hate to get rid of it, but at the same time, how do you give the public those benefits, so to speak,
How do you,
without increasing the price when our prices are going up? We didn't have anybody offer us a contract of less money. This is what was offered to us. This is what we have to pay if we are gonna have any garbage service at all. And we all remember, every one of us sitting on this board, except for maybe Gail, and you too, Margie, you've been here, the yard waste dumpsters have helped. The spring cleanup has helped.
And what really, really tease me off is I go down there and somebody's dumped a load of garbage.
I
in there.
know, yes.
In
And
there.
that-
You know, is there any way we could pull some of that out and see if we could get a name off from some of that garbage?
We have
or-
done that.
Have
We
you?
have, and we have sent tickets out for that. And
We've talked
I mean,
about
you do that. And there again, so here you're talking more time, and now you're talking law enforcement's got involved in it, you know? And so it's this kind of evil circle, Margie. I don't know how to, we're sitting here trying to make a decision for what we know with the information that we have.
Right.
Margie, there's a camera down there,
I know.
and it
I-
still doesn't deter people
And
from.
I was down there one time, there was, some people there, and they were throwing these big bags of yard waste in the plastic bags, and I says, no, I said, you can't do that. I said, there can't be any plastic in there,
Right.
you know, but there you go, you have to have somebody down there monitoring it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
And you
the-
can't afford that.
No.
And you can't find a volunteer to do it all the time either.
No.
And how can you 24 hours a day? Because they come in the middle of the night and do it.
Yeah,
And who does take them all out?
Well, it's you. It's you that does it.
All the way through?
And that we appreciate that. I mean,
Well,
I'm not
just
going to
saying.
do that. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm not jumping in there, so thank you for doing it. But
no, I didn't tell law enforcement when they were here, but I was gonna tell them that we had a hit and run the other night, Wednesday night. I heard a big noise and a slide down the highway here. Somebody ran over our little pedestrian sign and drug it for a ways.
oh,
And now it's, you know, it's not in the middle of the road now, it's just setting along the side of the road. But I thought, you know, I don't know if they were, you know, inebriated or something,
Yeah.
or if they just did it just for kicks, you know.
or if they had a heart attack or a asthma attack,
Oh,
or
they
you know.
just kept going.
I mean-
whatever it was, you know.
Well, it still could be something medical. I mean,
But-
it could be. It probably isn't, but
It is very infuriating though.
it is.
On the
Yeah, it
yard
is.
waste deal, to go down there and see a bunch of lumber and stuff like that. And thank you, Dan, for sorting that stuff out, because I sure can't get in there and get it out.
No, and the other day I took brush down there and somebody's dumping their ashes. So imagine that one if that baby sets on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, you know, and I'm not trying to be mean and I'm not, but I think it all probably ought to go away.
I have to go through.
we did put our Christmas tree in there yesterday. It was a live tree, and we kept it, and we put it in our lilac bushes, hoping that it would protect the birds a little more from this dang hawk that keeps eating all the songbirds.
Oh.
But we did take our old Christmas tree down there yesterday, so there was a strange tree that was in there.
Well, it would eliminate the garbage. It would eliminate a lot of that stuff. And it'd eliminate the possibility of everything on fire down there some night. Dorn and them, they could be a little excited if someone dropped their ashes in there.
Well, I guarantee you, we do put our ashes in there, but I guarantee you they're cold. We have metal buckets. Ashes are, that can go in there. Ashes can, because they're natural.
you put ashes in the in there in the
Sure,
dumpster.
Sure.
Doesn't hurt.
They're cold. We have metal cans that we put from our stove to a metal can, and then they sit for a month or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then Lon takes them down there, yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good for the mixture that the dump makes out of it. It's very good for it, the potash, so.
So I think our
I'll
3-year
guarantee you ours are
contract
not.
that we have on the garbage, if we want to spread it out and not have it as harsh, you know, in 1 year, if we do $1.30 a year increase for each year, and then we'll be at $3.90. We won't be quite at $4 raise, or we can go $1.32 or $1, whatever we want to do there to make it the full $4 that we want. But even numbers are easier to figure. And if they don't like the increment of every year, then so be it. But raise it $1.30 every whack of the first 3 years, put them at that level, and then go from there. Otherwise, it's take the hit in one time. the only way you're gonna be able to do it. Only two options. All at once or over 3 years.
Well, the other options, like Terry said, get rid of the spring cleanup and the dumpsters. And the bowls.
Oh, I know that Bernie's light switch down there.
He was always gonna move them.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't, Mr. Electrical.
Well,
Well, I don't think people would probably yell as much if you went up $1 something.
You wanna go at one shot, Gail? Get it over?
Well, and
You
They'll-
guys are gonna hear the calls.
Yeah, it's kinda like your choice.
Are you gonna hear it over the $1.30, or are you gonna hear it over the 4, or are you gonna hear it over both?
or
well, we're gonna hear it on everything because
not having the dumpsters.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna hear it no matter what.
Yeah,
What
so if
is,
you don't have the dumpsters, they're gonna complain. If you don't have the spring cleanup, they're gonna complain, but they don't see the cost, the increase.
it is one of those, you cannot, it's not possible to have 100% of the public happy. It just
No.
isn't.
You
It
can't.
isn't. So it is the board has maybe the better memory, the better information because of the fact of, well, just the fact that we've all been here, like I said. We all seen what, the good that the dumpsters have done.
But on
But-
that, Rapid City is getting rid of them all. They're not, the only one that's left right now is one out at Fitzpatrick, and it's loaded full of furniture and everything. Well, Rapid City is getting rid of them all. So, because they're tired of dealing with all the stuff that's in them, and it's not supposed to be in them, and so forth. So they're all going out of Rapid.
No, they're just a bunch of pigs. They dump everything around them. They don't put nothing in them, and that's not what's supposed to be in them, so.
No, it's not, but what's gonna happen?
And where's it gonna go?
So you just well take the hit in one shot, you're done with it, raise it $4 and
Four-
move along.
4 or 3, 10, bring it to 20.
Well, you got it, yeah, at the 20, correct, exactly right.
20 across the board with in and out because, like you said, they're not going to be out very much longer anyway.
So, 2 months, I think we'll probably be in the annexation deal and moving ahead. You know, it just depends on the pushback on it.
I think we need to-
I would look at that level and then see where we're at. You're gonna be chastised either way.
Oh, absolutely. You got a question?
This will at least give us, where we can still split between all the departments in the budget.
As well as still keep the benefit of the yard dumpsters for cleanup and,
Right.
mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe you could have a little article either in the Chronicle or in our newsletter here explaining what you had to decide on because you have to raise the rates because of the abuse of the yard waste dumpster, you increase expenses and all that. If you have an article that tells all that reasoning, then maybe you won't get such a backlash. What are you gonna do?
That's
Well,
a
they
good
took,
idea.
it went up so much, $12.65 for their service to $16.77 is,
Yeah.
Yard waste dumpsters are what took the big hit,
Yeah,
with 87 to where we are now at 249.
Mm-hmm.
And then our spring cleanup, you know, at 1653, and they always gave us the turnaround driver at no cost and only tonnage cost. And they were very good because they did out here all day long, which that roll around period was awesome.
Are you going to this year?
It'll be the same. So,
I think that's a good idea though, putting it out there for everybody can see the cost, the increase, the
Exactly.
why, what would have to go and so forth
yeah.
if you didn't raise it.
Yes, sir.
I agree, that's a very good idea to put that out there, to just let everybody see exactly, this is all the numbers. So
It needs to go out into
they don't just
the,
see this jump, they see why it jumped. And that gets back to letting the public know, letting the public buy into what needs to be done.
so I think we ought to put this in the, next Hermosa little newsletter,
Yeah, newsletter.
so that everybody can see the increase, the why, what would, if we don't increase, then the cleanup has to go, the dumpsters have to go, and this is why it's being done, so that it's still here for the use of everybody.
Well, you want it in there about all the split of all the other departments,
Yes.
split between public works,
Exactly,
streets,
where it all goes to.
the administrative office stuff here,
Right.
every coverage. Motion to go to the rate of 20 even for in and out.
For in and out. So these numbers have to be changed a little on the
Correct.
bottom before it's given to the newsletter.
Yeah,
But it's just,
Yeah.
that's where we're headed.
exactly, so that the out of town and the in town pay the same amount.
Well, I'm kind of split. I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of split on this, whether to do that or to leave it as is and take out the dumpsters and the,
I'm more inclined with that too.
I'm just split on it. Like I said, I know how much that cleaned the town up. We all remember that from 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. I can't even remember how long we've had those dumpsters now.
Oh, we have had that, well, we started that when Smitty was on the board. We started bringing those
Well, it
in.
was more, no, when you and Vicky come on. with
Yeah,
Michael.
but we had Smitty hauling trees and stuff off that year.
But if you,
Right.
You mean we had town cleanup?
Yeah,
Yeah, and we even had that when my dad was on the board.
Yeah.
We just all volunteered and.
yeah, that was a volunteer
Haul
thing at
everything
that
away.
time.
But didn't have the
Not
dumpsters,
the
just a
dumpsters.
one time a year deal or
No,
whatever?
this is too far.
No, first time Vicky and Terry were on is when dumpsters came. And that's when we all decided on now.
Oh, that was 20-some years ago, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, I've been here for 24 years, yeah, Gail?
Go ahead, Gail.
well, if you do take away the dumpsters, the yard waste and the spring cleanup, you're pretty much just breaking even.
Right.
You're still, there's still not any leftover for administrative, for, it's almost a wash.
And
It's
so
what,
then
it's like what, 13 cents?
Yeah.
if we made it $18 straight around, then it would be only another 300, 3,000.
I just think leave it alone. Leave the dumpsters alone. Try it for a year, and if we don't like it, change it from there.
And keep the motion as what you said, 20?
I'd make that motion. Keep the
Vicky makes the
dumpsters.
motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumach, discussion?
Yes, I think that the idea of getting that out there and let the community see exactly what the numbers are, where the numbers are going, and is an excellent way to go. And I think that there won't still be some maybe kickback, but when you let them see and have buy-in and know what's going on and the visibility of what's going on, it'll go a long ways. Tough times right now, you know.
It is.
I myself had to raise, because everything comes to me from my business, I had to raise. And so people know that, and if they see the numbers, they just, and then they say, okay, well, we just gotta do what we gotta do. So I think that's a good idea to get that out so they understand it.
So
Go ahead.
In that, with that motion, can we add to that motion to tell when we're gonna do that? We're gonna
that's
make,
what I was just gonna say.
okay,
Yeah, when is our starting date on this?
May.
May's,
well, she just took, so
In
the
June,
Say June.
the May bills,
June.
we just sent out the April bills, right, like 30 seconds ago.
Well,
Can it be-
Fred said he'd give us forgiveness for 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
so we tell Fred 1st of June our increase will go into effect.
So we'll send them out in the May bills.
Yeah, and we'll have this posted in May.
That'll give
Yes.
us a good breakage on that side of it.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item C was the signage on Hermosa Hills. I did not get a chance to look at the subdivision ordinance,
I did.
okay?
Couldn't find anything.
Okay. A lot of times in the approval, we make it to where the street lights,
Couldn't
as
find
well as
anything
signage.
at all. And I talked to Joan. She didn't know anything either, but I could not find anything in our ordinance.
Okay, so what we'll do is then have Mr. Ferguson, see what he's got for 15-mile-an-hour speed limit signs. We'll put one there on Walter, another one on Marie. We wanted 2 there. And then a stop sign on the end of Walter and a stop sign coming out of Dollar General.
General.
So we'll have 2 there. And then whatever it takes him for labor to put them in, and materials from Summit Signs would be my motion.
I'll second it.
Go ahead.
It's okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes,
You were gonna put one, Marie goes east and west. So you're gonna put one at Marie?
they
To
said
go
we didn't
towards-
need it, but
At this point, I don't know that we do we really?
The one
I don't
at
know.
General
We went
Dollar.
out there the other day and
It
there's-
was, as I recall, the people, it was some wanted it there and some didn't, and I guess I can.
Yeah, I think talking with some of the other business owners on that there area there is that right now, if you put the speed limit signs on Maria and on Walter, that I think a stop sign on the north end of Walters
Walter was it.
and then a stop sign coming out of Dollar General is similar to what Mr. Hallsworth recommended. I think that is kind of what the community over there on that side
Walter
think
was
needs to be
the street.
done.
Yeah, well,
You're right, Walter
Gail
was the
and I went out
street
there
that
the
was
other day.
there. Huh?
That's what we kinda came up with, was
Yeah, that's what
just the
Jerry,
2 for right now until
yeah, that's
things
what
pick up.
Jerry had mentioned the other night too,
Yeah.
instead of Marie on Walter. I couldn't remember which street it was for sure.
the speed limit sign, there needs to be one in the neighborhood, but doesn't there need to be one right there about Dollar General too?
That's where we're talking.
Yeah,
The speed limit, okay, well that, mine says Walter on it, so.
Walter and Marie.
I kind of missed the motion.
Walter is not the Dollar General.
No,
Wait, didn't you say Walter
said
and Marie?
Walter.
Yeah,
and then I said Marie Street, because he said they were coming
Yeah,
up that hard and heavy too.
For the speed limit.
So
Yeah,
there's an
okay.
enforcement ability.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a sign there, and the bad thing is you should have a sign going in and a
That's,
sign
I
coming
thought we
out.
were doing stop signs.
no, we're just,
See, that's the,
You're on speed signs.
we're,
I'm on
yeah,
speed
we're all
signs.
like,
I
I
thought
think,
we-
a little
okay,
discombobulated.
let's start over here. Excuse us. Let's start over and go to stop signs only.
Stop sign I said was gonna be on Walter,
Walter.
on the end, just before Lazy Arm, one at Dollar General.
no.
Correct.
Speed limit signs, I said one on Walter, which there should be one coming in on Walter, because that's where they're hammering the hardest by the campground. And then there should be one going in on Marie, And there should be one coming out on
So
Marie.
then 4 of them?
But they would see the one going in on Marie, so if they abuse it coming back out, the sign's there, they know it. So at present, if we have one on each, it's enforcing. As well as the stop signs, if they run them, it's enforcing.
What about coming in off of the highway, in right there and, I mean,
By Dollar General.
By Dollar General for a speed limit sign, or before Dollar General, or on the
You
other
know, right
side of
there.
Dollar General.
Yeah.
Somewhere where they can
Good.
see it there. Because I mean,
They're
that's
crazy.
where they've already got the highway speed on them when they're making that corner.
It'd have to be coming in,
Yeah.
as
Right.
you want it.
Right,
Yeah,
So we
coming in
can do
there.
3.
okay,
Okay.
3
I
stop
amend my
signs
motion to do 3.
and 2 stop signs, 3 speed limit signs.
Right.
Okay.
You had another question?
That's what I was gonna, say, that when they come off of the highway, I was gonna ask what quality street is that? Is that the one that could be
Yeah.
15? Get it 15 there, when they turn down, to go down south on Walters, show them 15, they go up Marie 15. When they come back down and start down, to come up down north on Walters, you know, a speed limit sign there, so they see it, that'll be coming that way also.
That's 4.
4 speed limit
4.
signs, because one's gotta be in the opposite
On the other
direction.
side.
Yeah. Okay.
4
All right,
speed, 2
that's what
stop.
the motion is then?
You got them all worked down now, directional, so you're straight?
I do.
Good.
And seconded?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you or Vicky
I
second?
have written down that I did.
Okay.
Is that correct? Good, that's what you got, okay, good.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Sewer issues?
Oh, Gail's got it.
Can I
sorry.
interrupt for a minute? I am really bummed. When you guys made a motion to amend the agenda, and I had to walk out because I had to bring Mark something, what did you amend the agenda to
Just the
add?
city
The city
cleanup,
cleanup.
discussion
You
of
didn't-
it for tomorrow.
Okay.
F,
I-
cleanup.
I don't have the liquor on here. I'm so bummed I didn't put liquor on new business.
Oh,
Did you guys already look it up?
Oh yeah, I've got information.
Well, we can discuss it, but.
we can
won't be
discuss it,
able
we
to
just can't
make
do
any
it.
Because we're on a
motions.
work session, that's right. Okay,
Right.
thanks, okay.
So,
All right,
so that isn't a biggie.
okay.
So the
So
issue-
sewer issues, I didn't hand anything out because I just. So this was the cleanup, the cleaning report.
You're fine.
And if you notice on here, there's a couple of pipes in bad shape that they've got on here.
Thank you.
If you guys want that. Hello.
Got some.
Can I be excused for just a minute, please?
Hey, Bob.
Bob, hang on just a minute out there. I'll meet you outside if I can get there with these knees.
So, I don't think that was exactly what you really wanted on this on the agenda for, Dan. I think there was some other discussion of what you wanted me to on the agenda to discuss about what.
Well,
What we
no,
should
I
do
thought
with-
this is what we were gonna
Okay.
talk about. What else did you have?
Well, I think the pictures but I didn't make all those pictures, copies of the pictures. Okay.
No, and as far as hosting all of that, I mean,
they
that's,
can come look, I mean,
In the past, we would set it up and run it on our TV. And then if they were interested, they would come watch it.
oh, right up here, we could do
Yes.
that.
That's how it was done
On what
Wait.
TV?
years ago.
years ago, we had a regular, big, fat, heavy TV that was on top of one of the shelving units, and we had and it was all in tape form. And it just ran through the hours of the day.
Huh.
And you'd set one day up if anybody wanted to come up
Yeah.
and sit and watch it,
I think that's a good
and
idea.
then it was running.
got them. I've got them electronically, all the
How,
pictures.
how long does it take to run the whole thing? Do you know? Would you find that out? And then,
That's cheap.
and, I mean, is
I
it,
don't know.
is it
Yeah,
24 hours? Is it, you know what I mean? How can you tell the public when it's gonna be on if we don't even know how long it lasts? So,
Well, it's not gonna take 24 hours.
well, I don't know that. I mean, how slow does that snake run in there? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If you find out how long it
Okay.
takes to run it, and then we could run it every Monday, or I don't know, you know, whatever.
Yeah, don't say nothing in here about run time.
So I see only two where it says, only two. There are two that says pipe in bad shape, out of all of them.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's not horrible for the year, how old that is. Not wonderful, we'd like to see it all be in perfect shape.
Well, it is getting, it is old.
You know, there's a couple where the manhole concrete is off-centered, which is a simple fix on them. And one of them.
One, yeah. It's the same one that the pipes in bad shape.
How's the gravel getting in there?
Suppose every time you open the,
See, and then they've got on here the root cutting and root cleaning. And didn't Chuck say they were coming back to phone them?
Well, Chuck had said something about digging them up and fixing them.
I don't know what he said for sure. I'm
Well, he had said
sorry.
one time, because he had big green X's on all that, and I said, what are you gonna do with all that? He said, probably gonna have to come back, dig them up and fix them. So I honestly don't know what Chuck's plan is for sure.
That would be something where reviewing that tape would be a good thing, so we can actually see whether repair is the essential or that foaming. The foaming took care of 90% of it last time. And if that's a yearly thing, because everything else was okay.
so I would like to see the tape also, or whatever you wanna call it.
I like
I wanna
to
see the media.
See these places.
Yes, the bad places, I would like to see that myself. I would also like to see the one above it where it says roots, gravel, and root ball.
Root ball.
Yeah.
Presuming the root ball, we paid we paid 15 minutes for root cutting. So how much of that did they get rid of for that 15 minutes? So I would like to see that one also on the top of my priority list, those three.
And then the pipe in bad shape.
Oh,
What's-
yeah.
well,
Those.
I've got them
Need
marked
to
on
look
hot
at
pink
those.
here, what's absolutely the. And so, isn't it interesting, however, how it takes 15 minutes to do roots and the root ball, and it takes
A quarter to
3/4 hour to do the baby wipes. That's the only thing extra on that one where it says baby wipes. It's the only thing extra on that particular one, and it takes so much more time to handle the baby wipes and the root balls. And we can't, I mean, how many times have we put that on
First
the,
and Vilas. That's not even down in the
First and
First
Vilas.
and Vilas, that's,
So is that where,
It's right over here.
what,
Yeah.
I know where it is, but is that the
Yeah, it's
corner
right
household?
Community center,
right over in
and
there.
then Dorn Cole.
Dorn,
Yeah.
is that the direction that Dorn Coles goes?
So
And then
did,
the community center, yes.
so did they come from somewhere else
You
and
don't
just
know,
congregate
because the way
there?
that line feeds down through, it could be off of West Main, coming across.
It's just another one of those deals that are sad, that's been on the back of the water bill many times, and it's been
Yeah.
posted in the newsletter
Oh,
many
and-
times.
And Chuck
Well,
also
speak-
said, I'm sorry, hon.
No.
Chuck said in a lot of places, people are throwing their grease down there.
Yeah, that's
He
been an
says,
issue.
and drain water
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's-
clogs in
yeah.
there horribly,
He says
yeah,
down-
absolutely.
coming out of the, trailer park over there, going down that way. He says down that alley, he says there was a lot of grease.
And that's been on the back of the bills many times also, and also in the newsletter. Not that it, a yearly reminder on that kind of stuff is not a bad thing.
It was just in the newsletter last month.
Just last month,
Yeah.
see, I knew it was, it just is, and so, there's just some people that, I've had to explain that to even company coming, that are from bigger cities where they can put anything in, basically, and not have a problem. Well, this is not a big city, we don't have the huge grinders that are the size of this house, this building, so.
Well, speaking of that, we weren't able to do this last month because Jill was in the hospital and I wasn't able to get it done, but we just, with the bills that just went out, Ferguson subdivision got assessed for the cost of the last pull that Chuck had to do on the pump down
I
there.
think I
So
remember you all making
just-
that
Mhm.
decision and that.
that assessment just went out on
Yeah.
those bills today. So
Okay, all right. So here again, on the sewer issues, we need more time because we wanna watch the
Yeah, we're not-
movie, right?
We're not gonna
Popcorn
do
and
anything.
movie?
No, we'll just,
So that'll give us an idea with the report to review,
Mhm,
and those of you on the sewer department then, and water,
and
all
water.
you can set up a time and come up and review and see what your findings are on new items.
Okay.
Then we can move forward, whether they need to be dug up, repaired, or what circumstances. Is the foaming the answer?
Okay. When do you guys have time? When is,
I'll just set it up and you can sit out here and watch it. It won't take. It'll just take me 15 minutes to get it set up and.
okay, we'll see what time we're done here today. Or you got
Can't
another,
today.
you can't today, okay. That's my, okay, so when? When works for you?
I would be gone Thursday through next Monday. So, if you guys wanna go ahead and do it, and then.
how about
Monday.
Tuesday? I can do it on Tuesday.
Whatever, I'll get it set up.
You and I can do it Monday? Do you have Monday?
I think, I
Mm-mm.
think, no.
We have a meeting. You and I do.
Oh, yeah, at 2:10, I gotta go and look at something. I forgot about that. Good, glad you remembered that.
How long will that take?
However long she wants to stand there and talk to us.
Okay.
Linda Dean has an issue with drainage and she wants us to come over and look at her drainage.
At which,
Alan or Edwards' old house. So if you wanna toddle along, feel free.
down there?
Yeah, at Alan or Edwards, it's kitty corner from.
I don't know old names
Oh,
like that, honey, I
sorry.
haven't been here that long, sorry.
Kitty corner from the school, the
Okay,
big
all
white
right,
house.
gotcha.
Might be good to have a
Quit dating
couple.
yourself.
I know,
I
Oh, you
remember
live
too.
you live in Martha Dawkins' old house.
So what time was that again?
2:10.
Then if you girls wanna come up in the morning, or what do you work?
I work till 1 o'clock every day unless it's Monday and I'm there till 2.
So Monday doesn't
So
work
we
for
had a
you.
couple of hours after the meeting.
Well, yeah, she can't do anything on Tuesday.
So you guys will have to just do it then.
No, well,
Maybe I'll come up on Monday and watch it myself. Sorry,
Here
Gail,
Monday.
don't mean to be,
Well, no, you're going over to that thing at 2 o'clock.
if I can't, I don't know that I can.
And if you're free Monday, Terry, and can stop by,
I can pop in afterwards.
if you're
and
working
let-
after 1 and
So-
come up, then maybe you guys can, after 1, Monday, 1:30 or something.
I can pop in and take a gander at stuff in and out. Especially on these places here where the pipe is
Well, that's-
bad and
yeah.
stuff. That's the big
Exactly.
concern.
So I don't know how it's set up on that tape, if you can fast forward it to the locations, or,
I haven't looked at the tape yet. They have the streets marked, and those are just
Right.
photos. And they had them all marked out, so might be easier just to look at the pictures.
yep, that too,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Then we'll wait and see what you guys report at the next meeting,
Okay.
or we can do another work session and
If we need to. If we feel we need to after looking at it all and we wanna, we'll,
Bring a little more insight.
yeah, we'll make that decision after that.
the. Okay, next item was abatements.
I still have a problem with the way it's listed for the penalties,
What are the
or the timing
penalties?
for.
So explain to me, I'm at a
Well,
loss
to
here.
me, the grass should have one set of rules. Noxious, garbage issues should have another set. Instead of them being intertwined, it should be two separate categories.
Okay.
And then the next question is, who's gonna do it? We're all
They're
gonna do
already
it.
separated in the way that they're abated. You know, because the garbage, you gotta do the 3 announcements on it and letters, and where mowing, you can act on instantly.
Is it stated that way in
We went
the
over that
ordinance? We
before,
went through
before,
that,
before.
we've been through it, and
I didn't put
You
that in
know,
the
Vicki,
that's
packet.
I
We
still
went
don't
through it.
like it.
we'll go through that and we'll look at that and get it. We'll,
Well, it was addressed where, when the
I
statement
know.
comes in, then we
I
can
still don't
act on
like
it in 48 hours. You know, and then there's after the first letter you got the first week. After that, then you have immediate addressing on it because you've already sent them a letter.
for the grass. And what about the noxious stuff?
That's all part of it. That's all part of it, because it's immediate health, safety, and welfare. Then on garbage or anything major, you go to the first notice, second notice, third notice.
I'll look at it again.
Because we streamlined that for that purpose, because of when Bernie was here. And we can't wait
He did the
a
abatements.
month for
Bernie
somebody
did.
to mow.
No, I
Once they
understand
get
that,
the
that's
notice,
why
we were
I'm,
able to abate it in 48 hours.
that's why I'm saying it, like, I'll go back and reread it and go from there.
Cleanup is the next one, and we'll appreciate that, and then you can let us know if we need to put it in a work session, or if we, likewise with the sewer
Further
thing.
discussion.
Yep, when we all discuss that. City cleanup, Fred had called Gail this morning, asked about that, and he said there was supposed to be a blizzard tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
1 to 2 inches of snow, high winds. Tonight we're supposed to have rain, chance of hail, tornadoes and so forth.
yep,
All the way through there.
Everything at once.
Yeah, all 4 seasons getting us right here.
Just no earthquakes.
Wow.
Worst of it sounds like it's north of us and that we're only supposed to get a glancing blow. So I said, we'd advertise the cleanup, we still go forward. Those that attend, and if they don't, they don't. And it's less dumpsters and we go for it.
You don't want to wait a week.
No, we told Fred to go for it.
Oh,
Because we
okay.
posted it.
It has
Got
been
it.
posted, unfortunately, and people.
What do you mean
have been
unfortunately?
Well, if it hadn't been posted, it would be easy to change. Once it's posted,
Well,
and
it's
it's been
newsletter
posted
and
for a
posted.
month or 2 months,
Mhm.
you know, that's a long time. People have already been preparing for it, in
Mhm.
my opinion. And so I think it's very hard to change it. I agree it's gonna be a bummer standing out there, and it's a bummer for the citizens to have to deal with the weather, but I think they'll do it. If they're ready for it, they'll do it, just to be done with it. So I just hope, my problem with the whole day was if you have to be out plowing snow somewhere, and you're not there with your loader to crush and help the heavy stuff get in and all that.
Well, there is Chuck.
Well, I'll be good.
Okay.
It don't sound like we're gonna get the snow.
No, we shouldn't, but, you know, nobody really expected Atlas
Everything that
either,
I've
so,
watched
you
in all
know.
the models of what come in today,
Mhm.
I mean, it's all supposed to be north of us.
Yeah, well, I keep looking at my phone too. and
Custer and all down through there and that glancing blow.
They have lowered it now. Early this morning, Hot Springs was not to get any snow, and now they're showing snow. So it is dropping further south, and so that was my concern, was that you wouldn't be here, and not only you, but Lon volunteered to be here working, and if he has to be out plowing, he won't be here either.
Well,
So,
I know, I have to work.
and you have to work,
And I have no problem being,
and you're useless.
done it every year.
Moral support.
I thought I'd go get donuts.
So,
Well, you
like I
know
said,
where I'm at.
I'll be okay, and we've had cold, windy, rainy cleanups before.
We have, yeah.
I don't expect anybody to stand out there and get cold.
Yeah.
I'll be here, and we'll go through it
Okay.
and see who's here and sort it out and be done with it. See
Seven,
what
what time
weather
are
is
they
in the
coming?
morning.
What time? 7 till?
7 to 2, it said on the paper.
Okay.
Okay? Anything further on that? Good.
I don't have any.
Items from citizens?
Oh, the liquor license? Did you?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really
let's do
sorry that I didn't, I don't know why I didn't get, I missed that completely.
That's fine.
But again, like you said, we
we
can
can discuss it.
discuss it and. So I sent a note out to the listserv and had seven cities respond is all out of the whole state. That begged them to reply, but only got. That's that front is tells you.
Oh, I see an issue.
Responded. So, what I asked him is do you tax on alcoholic beverages? They all do except for Miller. What do you tax on? We tax on wine, beer, and liquor. All of them do. And you can see the percentages are a little bit different on all of them, but primarily, it's 5 to 15%. Said on sale, off sale. All of the towns said it's both. It doesn't matter. I asked city owned or privately owned. It's most of all the cities that responded only have city licenses. And then I asked the question about the $25 per month plus the 5%. That was what you asked me to ask. Remember that, Linda?
Mm-hmm.
And no, none of them do that. They all just say they charge the percentage fee. That's what they charge. They don't charge another. They don't do the 25
Monthly,
plus
the monthly.
right. So I'm kind of jumping, but I'll just do that. Then the next page, the next page is the types of licenses that are in Hermosa's ordinances. And off to the right on the last column is where our facilities are at. We have MG Oil is at number one license. They pay $350 a month plus 5% of their alcoholic beverages, and that's for location 1 and 2. So we received received one check, but 2 locations. Lazy R, they are at where you see where their purchases do not exceed over $600.
That's,
Well, so Dan came in and did some investigating and said, well, why are they at the 600? You know that they're over 1,200. And so that would be the one where it's
needs to change.
The
It should be-
reason they were at that, do you want to hear why?
Sure.
It was only a restaurant, and it was a fairly slow restaurant at the time when this was made. They did not really do the bar as much as I think they do now. That's a thing, I don't know, I'm not there. So but when that was changed to their 125, it was just a restaurant, and they barely had any alcoholic sales whatsoever.
well, so
And that has changed now,
Yeah, so this-
so their fees should change.
This should have been probably re-looked at a couple years ago,
Probably, yes.
because I'm thinking, what was their last month's deal?
they do more than $1,200 annually. Let's just put it that way. So they should be at number 4. Possibly. I don't know why they're not. Unless that's just what you said, Linda. They didn't
was.
do exceed over 600, and it's just never been
Right.
found out or investigated or discussed. And I, again, I've just kind of,
It's been a gift all this time, so now we'll straighten them out, correct them all now. It is what it is.
and that liquor license will come up the 1st of January. They don't get it right now. But we
Okay,
can
so
give them a heads up that they're going to be.
Yes, I agree.
So we can't make any motions on that yet.
It's
But
all fairness on not all the way across the board. Like I say, it's time that we're just doing the investigation, treating everybody the
That's
same, fairness all the way across the board.
So which brings us now down to the malt beverage, and that was where the whole issue started, because I made a mistake on community center, and then that's when I really started looking at it. That's when I reviewed why is Pop's not paying this, but MG Oil, they pay the 300 renewal fee. They have not been paying. They pay the 5%. That's up in their alcoholic beverages, so they pay the 5%. But they have not been paying the 25. I talked to her the other day. She goes, "Yeah, that's nothing. I mean, $25. I'm adding the 25 onto it if that's what we did." And that she's so.
Run that.
MG.
So the
MGO.
MGO. See, because the ordinance is $25 a month plus the 5% plus the $300
Correct.
renewal. MGOL they've only been paying the $300 renewal fee and the 5%.
Okay.
And
So to correct that after the first of the year too, then.
well, those are malt
are
beverage
due.
is due.
Yeah. So that
We
can
have
happen
to make
now.
a decision on the May 3rd meeting of what we're doing on the malt beverage.
Well, that's gotta be across the board with them too.
Right, but we have to figure out if you're going to change your ordinance and just do the 5% plus the 300 renewal. If you're going to do the 300 annual licensing fee, the $25 a month plus the 5% alcoholic beverage.
For what? Because I was thinking about this hard too, why we did what we did. And once again, by the time you do your administration and your law enforcement with the extra enforcement that they do with DUIs and watching and doing their portion of it, and if there's an arrest, there's a lot of involvement there too, above and beyond. And of course, all of our fees are going up on everything. So But that's you guys' call, what you feel comfortable
Well,
with.
we know Mr. Martin will not go for it.
No.
Flat out will not go for the 5%.
So we'll lose
No,
that.
he will not go for that. But then you also have to turn around and look at the fact that if he sells the place, I'm just saying, because he has it for sale, what happens to that malt beverage? Is it transferable?
Yeah,
Well, not without filling out all the
Right,
paperwork.
so
and
these
being
people-
approved.
So these people
Yeah.
have to come in and redo it.
mhm.
Yes.
So then, should we just let it ride as it is because it's for sale and because it's gonna be sold? Should we just let it ride till it, and then the new people that come in say this is how it is? I'm just asking.
To me, that's not fair still to our other customers. It's not straight across the board.
Well,
And you don't know, I mean, it could sell tomorrow or it may sell in 5 years. And so then how fair is that to the rest of our?
Well,
That
Mr.
was the
Martin,
agreement though.
Mr. Martin also stated that, well, in the meeting, that if this goes through with the 5%, do not send him anything.
Yeah, but I know.
So you're
I
gonna
heard
be
that too.
losing the 300, the 150 or whatever, and you're gonna be losing the tax revenue off of the alcohol and so forth.
plus the 300 because
Plus
he
the
has been
300.
paying the
So you're
25.
gonna be losing money off of that till the place does sell. And then per se, this person comes in and he decides not to go either. So I'm just putting this out here.
Mhm.
How much a month in sales do they do?
I have no idea. I mean, Gail would know that, doesn't it?
I think
come
he
up
told
here?
me that, what did he say, $5,000
A
last? I
month?
think that's what he said.
I have no idea. I'm not subject to that. I just work there.
And so 5% of 5,000.
I don't know what comes in.
I mean, that's $250 that you're, and he's willing to lose the sales over $250.
Apparently, that's what he said in here.
He wasn't joking.
So, that's what he said in here.
And
so
if
that's-
MGL comes in and decides they want to quit paying the 5%, and they've been not charged the 25, and to be fair, across the board for them too.
They're
And
not
they
gonna,
do how
they're not
much a
gonna
month?
drop. They're not gonna drop. They've got,
But I'm saying.
Then we
Yeah.
have the,
but yeah.
yeah, and then you have the
Precedents, if they
Hermosa,
want to
Right.
connect.
we have the Hermosa Community Center, that they're not apparently signing contract either, I guess. I don't know.
They didn't say that.
I don't know. They sent back that one and said they weren't, see, there's, that little guy is standing there with Dan Martin, so I have no idea.
Well, that was one where they're just starting, so
I know.
it needs to be straight across the board with them. We don't want to harm them or put it in a bad circumstance.
I don't either, especially since they don't have much business.
That's why for them, it's not going to be a very much of an elevation of cost. If they want that leverage of malt beverage, then this is what we do. If they don't, then don't sell it.
Right, the percentage is what's the fairer amount, because then it is on what you order and what you sell, no matter how big or how small your business is.
Right.
So the percentage is what's fair. It's, to me, in my eyes, the most unfair part is, the community center that sells 10 cases of beer a year, or whatever, compared to the Flying J that sells 4,000 cases of beer a year. The 300 sure don't weigh out then, does it? So, can we make a change in that instead and keep the percentage the same? Would that make sense?
You would
Well-
have to talk to,
Well, I don't,
this is,
I don't,
I don't know what he will do, but I just know that night that he was not a happy little camper. And I listened to it on Wednesday.
I'm sure you did, and I understand his feelings on the matter. But sitting here, I also know that we have to be the same across the board.
Right.
So the fairness there seems to me to keep the percentage the same. If we lowered the yearly fee or the 25 a
Isn't
month
it set
or,
by the state on
The annual licensing fee is,
Yes.
that's
Okay, we can't change
150 to
that.
them and 150 to us,
That's,
but,
the operating agreement is optional, that's the town ordinance.
correct.
And then the percentage there goes with, some places do
yeah, other towns.
2%, some
Sure,
do
15.
15, some do those, but
Right.
Dan Martin hasn't been paying that at all because
Yeah,
he
he
hasn't
hasn't.
had an operating agreement since 2017.
He's never paid that.
He's never paid that,
Yeah, he
so I don't know what had transpired back at that time, but
the.
Yeah, how did this end up so different for everybody?
Well, for one thing, the Hermosa Community Center, I screwed up. I gave him the
Well,
wrong,
No, I'm talking apparently in 2016.
I don't know. I can't find what happened.
I'm
When I
saying-
read the minutes,
I'm
it just,
saying there's a difference. Why was it straight across the board in 2016?
it
quit
wasn't.
that.
He's never paid the 25, or the
I
5%.
know.
And see, they quit that 1 year, they didn't sell any.
No.
And that was because I'm sure that it was brought up that they were going to pay it.
I had-
And they made their stand that no, we're not going to,
Mhm.
and they quit selling it. And then all of the transformation happened, that it was issued after that. I have no recollection.
I thought
Then they
Bob-
came back and then they wanted to renew the next year.
Right. I
But
thought
the-
Bob was gonna look through his minutes and see if he could find that, seeing how you couldn't. He never brought him up, he never said anything to you?
Mm-mm, he didn't, but I have those minutes. I have his packets.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to search that out
yeah,
from
since this is
2016,
since
if
this
we
is
want the
just
answer.
discussion.
If we want the answer to why it happened, if that's important enough to look through, I don't know. I still say it has to be straight across the board somehow, some way. And I feel bad for them.
And the Hermosa
But
Community Center.
You can't do that. You just can't do that. We can't play favorites because we like Dan and we like having this grocery store and we, or we don't like the Flying J because they don't take care of their parking lot. It still has to be across the board. I personally will not vote a yes vote on having theirs be different than somebody else's.
I can't
Right
vote
there,
at
I'll
all.
cut. And, oh yeah, I guess you can't vote at all.
I can't
Is
vote
that-
at all, conflict of interest.
Right, yep.
But I can talk about it.
Oh, all you want, yep.
Well, the problem also is that we can't, the ordinance,
Right, you
we're
can't
we're at
get right
the
from
crunch
the
now
ordinance.
because we have to make a decision on May 3rd of what's going to happen, which is follow the ordinance. Or
Well,
not.
And it's worked all this time except for a hiccup here. That's what's difficult. And
So-
changing the ordinance is expensive. By
So,
the time we,
Well, it won't be able to go into effect until,
right, yeah. So then, right now, we have to follow our ordinance. And we state the fact that we will research it and we will have whatever. We can make changes if we decide to make changes to make it more equal for the small businesses versus the large businesses, if we can, by the next year's renewal. The only difference
It's-
there is the
it's-
25 per month.
but it's relative.
I-
So
I-
MG Oil sells $5,000 worth of malt beverage and they sell 1,000. Let's just say that, okay? I mean, I'm just
Okay.
giving you a number.
Good
It's
enough, yep.
relative.
you're
It's
still
not like-
balancing out.
Right.
You're evening out.
Right.
When it's a
With the
percentage, yeah.
Right.
And if the state license is exactly the same no matter what, we can't change that. But the 25 per month. I mean, it's
That's-
even, but it's,
That's
how
it.
fair is it?
Right.
If
That's
you're going by fairness of size of business, size of sales, it's not fair.
No, the bigger one is, I mean, they are paying a bigger sum of it. They wanna push the volume, they wanna have the volume of sales, they're going to push more. So they reckon, that's where they're at. It's no different on that volume of sales for a community center. If they do $100 a month, they do $100 a month, they've still gotta pay the same state law,
Right.
and they're only at 5%. So I mean, this is so fair, so even for everybody. If you wanna sell $10,000 a month, more power to you. You know, you're on that level of achievement. Good for you. That means business is good.
So they said.
But it's a level average all the way across the board. Yes,
I was just wondering about the $25 per month. Why is not that being charged to all people? And they're giving you 5% of their sales anyway, so why not get rid of that?
It's $300 a year is what that ends up being.
it's
Per-
state law.
per-
That monthly rate is set by state law.
Yeah.
No, that $25 a month is not. It's the annual licensing that's set by,
That's our ability to collect the monthly.
the 25 is our ability. Mhm.
Correct, for our administrative, for you.
Right.
Paperwork, handling it, the monthly, the finance, the state application, the requirement.
Mhm.
On
So
top
you're
of the
saying just do
5%?
it at cost and not get our money back in the administrative side?
So you've got two on there.
The 5% doesn't cover that though?
That's what they have to calculate and send in and average out every month.
So you've got two on there that are paying 25 a month and three that aren't.
The others,
What?
350, 125.
Like, yeah, MJ Oil pays $350
Yeah.
twice, two
At
locations.
a higher rate.
Lazy R, they,
MG loved
Lazy R
to see
needs to
that
be
go away.
redone.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I misread that. I apologize.
Yeah, they're, MG Oil
Yeah, I
is.
misread it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
MG
you're
Oil
taking
is
that
doing
away, you're gonna
everything.
take all of them away then.
I misread it.
They beat this to death when we were back when you had the bar. And you wanted the fairness. And that's when this was developed to be affordable and fair.
Times change and people have questions and we have to deal with it, so I,
It's just like the garbage.
Excuse me.
You know, that if you don't have that ability as everything else is increasing, and if you take it at a smaller rate, that's fine. But it's either or way, you're going to have that adjustment that it's gonna come back to hurt you, because then when you get into budget
I
time,
know, that's what I
then
said
you're
about the
suffering,
garbage.
and what area are you gonna take away from? Are we taking away from finance, water, sewer, garbage, law, you know? And we're going into a bigger period with law enforcement. Every little penny is gonna help to offset a surcharge for the customers, for the users in town. And that's what we try to protect, is the user rate for in town, and, you know, not harm the businesses at the same time, and keep it at affordable.
Yep.
Well, if this is what, you know, if this is the way it's going to be, Mr. Martin will not be renewing his license, plain and simple. He just won't be.
I can understand that. The sad part to me is that they're going to send their people that want to buy to the out-of-town purchaser instead of the in-town one, and that's sad to me. But they don't live in town, and they don't have the in-town, let's keep the town going kind of thing. They have some issues about the town anyway, so that's where that problem comes in. But that's sad to me. But there again, just like he can't force me to shop there, I can't force him to tell tell his customers where to go buy their beer anymore, so it's sad, but it's the way it is. I just, it has to be straight across the board. I can't go for anything else. So I'll make the motion, I
No,
guess.
no,
Oh, that's right, we're just
Next
in
meeting.
discussion.
So we know where
Correct.
we're at, so we
That's
don't
right, sorry.
have to beat this up next meeting.
Yeah,
I was gonna try to get it done and over with, sorry. Yep, nope, okay.
You can't do that.
No, I can't, I know, sorry.
just write it down so you remember it.
I'll
Well, it's
remember
just
it.
straight across the board.
Straight across
We're
it,
gonna
we have
follow
to
the
go
ordinance.
to ordinance, yes.
I mean, that's,
Has to be, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's,
And I'm not doing this as a personal thing against Dan, which he seems to think we are, and I'm
It's
not.
not at all.
Not at all.
and the community center has to be the same way,
Yes.
and then Lazy R is going to have to be moved up to
Yes.
level 4
Absolutely,
on where they're at then,
yeah.
you know, and,
So the Lazy R can be mad at Dan because of this.
oh my gosh.
No,
oh,
okay.
I'll take the blame, look at that.
Oh, you got big shoulders?
There's
Thank you, honey.
no circumstance on that.
No,
We
I
wanna
know.
give them notice
It's just,
that we're happy they're successful. We're happy that their business is
yeah.
very flourishing, but that pulls them up into the level number 4 is where it's gonna be at, so.
Okay.
And then we have a good correction, and then everything is for you girls, straight across the board. We don't have any
I know.
differences.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a good level on that side, so.
Good.
Okay, so that'll be on our agenda for next meeting. Now we can go to items for our citizens. Yes, sir.
The first thing I'd like to say is thank you very much for acting so quickly on the signs over there on Walter and Marie. That's pretty quick action, and I think it's gonna pay benefits. There's been a few close ones and a few fender benders over there, so thank you guys very much for doing that. Another thanks for putting, deciding to put out the numbers, where all this stuff goes on the trash bill, so people can look at that and see, okay, well, yeah, if you want this, and this is what it is, because this is what it's costing us. And you can get a lot of buy-in by doing that, and it's very positive on that. And then I had another question. Can businesses or individuals contribute or donate money to the city for a certain item? No?
you can donate the item. You can donate to Neighborhood Watch and ask Neighborhood Watch to get a fund going for enough money to donate.
Yeah.
If it's a large item, if that's what you're
If it's, yeah,
going
but
for.
to the city, no.
Okay, I was wondering about that. And again, just thanks for a good meeting, I appreciate it, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Anything, Margie? Thank you. Okay, at this time then we'll go into executive session at 3:08. Motion to do that, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Schumacher, second by Hendrickson at 3:08 to go into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Go back to the motion. Okay.
Yeah, just,
Ready? So at 3:32, I asked for a motion to adjourn. Hendrickson made the motion, second by Schumacher. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Trustee input, Hendrickson, Schumacher,
Nice meeting.
Kramer.
I just want to thank Bob
Yes.
for his service to this town on the board and everything else that he does. We all know how, a lot of us know how much he has done, and he will be greatly missed. I believe that the people are losing out in this situation because from my years of being on this board and being on the other side of the board, he is the most neutral, unbiased person I have ever seen up here. Always, always, not just sometimes, always. and he is always willing to give time and help to anyone. And it's sad, it's a sad day. It's a sad day that he has resigned from this board.
I agree.
And the citizens will lose because of it, I feel. Thank you, Bob, for everything you've done.
Ditto.
Yep, I
You
agree.
did it also.
Appreciate the board working on this today and taking their Friday to come in and be here today to go through this stuff. It saves us some good time in the meeting. And I ditto what Linda said as well as what everybody else feels. Motion to adjourn at 3:33 or 34? 34. Who seconds it?
No.
Hendrickson, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.